Welcome to the Enterprise Thought Leadership Podcast, where we explore the latest in enterprise trends, tech, and strategy with the top leaders shaping the future.
Hi, we welcome you to our podcast On Stage with Enterprise Thought Leaders. My name is Kanika and I'm the managing editor of Talk CMO and Talkmartech. These are our two enterprise marketing technology publications. On these publications, we have engaging conversations with global thought leaders and industry experts, reaching over 1.3 million business leaders worldwide. We've had several discussions till now on these podcasts on how AI has disrupted marketing. Today, we shall be discussing a complementary topic. What goes on behind the scenes with what forward-thinking CMOs are actually doing day-to-day with AI. We are speaking to Guy Marion. He's a CMO of Chargebee. It's a brand that provides billing and monetization tools for more than 6,500 customers globally. Hi, Guy. Welcome to our podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, Kanika. Thank you for having me today.
It's a pleasure. Guy will share with us his insights on how he personally is implementing AI at the leadership level, training custom LLMs, deploying ChatGPT Enterprise and Claude Enterprise, and integrating AI into his own workflow and decision making. This perspective would provide our audiences, I'm hoping, with actionable insights that go beyond what's working to show exactly how it's working and how it is paying off. Guy brings over 15 years of strategic marketing and leadership experience to drive SaaS growth. Before joining Chargebee, he was a CEO and founder of Brightback, now Chargebee Retention. At Chargebee, he leads the go-to-market strategy, increasing brand awareness and drives customer acquisition. Anything I missed about you or about Chargebee, Guy? Would you like to add something here?
Traditionally, I'm a bit of a data nerd and also a general purpose marketer. And now very much we are enjoying and gaining quickly with the use of GPT and with many of the agentic tools we've been putting in place and workflows we're building out.
So as I was saying earlier, would you like to share with us some insights on how you are using AI as a marketing leader?
Yes, certainly. So first of all, again, great to be here today. And I should say at Chargebee, which is a billing and monetization platform based out of the US with major offices in India and Chennai and Bangalore, as well as in Amsterdam and Dublin in Europe. We are reimagining marketing from the ground up on the principle that we're leveraging AI and automation to really multiply the impact of every high-performing marketer, as well as we're enabling a global client base of both companies transforming with AI and those that are starting as Gen AI startups and looking to monetize and grow from an AI perspective. Me personally, to your question, I use a combination of workflows and custom GPTs. Sort of the three most common right now. First of all, I have a CMO GPT that the content team has created where they have fed and personalized tone of voice guidelines, my general perspective and persona, and then all the content we've created in the past that I have been bylined for or that pull from areas of expertise. For example, in billing and monetization, UBB, retention, and so on. We've fed that in, and now we're starting to develop bylines that are pretty well capturing some of my both voice and tone, as well as my messaging and positioning as a first pass, which then from there I can lean into and really fashion and sculpt that into an original written piece. And the result is we've ramped up the amount of press level and industry level thought leadership that can be created. Second is a CMO agent, which we use from I've worked with my marketing ops leader, and it's surfacing discrepancies and trends on new leads, new opportunities, and new wins every day and every week. So what the source was, what the key moments were, what the key needs of the buyer were, what the key personas were, and how our internal teams leverage the right approaches to either accelerate those sales cycles or convert those leads. So that's been very valuable. That was impossible to do in the past, at least in a daily Slack-based manner. And the third is for me personally, I have my own co-pilot that I use for all my personal planning. It's effectively like a chief of staff agent. I use it for understanding how I'm spending my time on my calendar, breaking down and categorizing my spending it in the right ways, developing agendas for key leadership meetings, identifying and then actually helping me with responses to updates to the team or interactions that I have every day across the organization as a CMO. So that's my personal custom GPT.
And that must be helping you streamline a lot of functions internally as a CMO, right? Saving time as well.
Saving time, streamlining functions, and then being much more succinct
Yeah,
and customer ready in every interaction.
right. So, on a slightly a higher level, AI tools are being used by teams for training custom LLMs. What advantages do you think that delivers to teams like that, marketing teams specifically?
Yes. So we use enterprise versions of both ChatGPT from OpenAI as well as Claude from Anthropic. We also use Gemini from Google across the board. We have trained and are in the process of building databases, or we call them content centers and data centers and topic centers around key aspects of Chargebee. For example, product documentation at depth around all the core capabilities of all of our core products. We have done the same thing for all of our press activity in the past, all of our corporate positioning, all of our product marketing, objection handling and call sheets, transcripts of sales calls that are recorded with the permission of our customers that can be transcribed and key moments and insights extracted from them. Those then need to be transformed and then fed into our LLMs via a third-party platform, so that we can ensure that we're populating GPT and Claude with the insights, which then in turn allows us to start to develop things like competitive agents or kill sheets or competitive analysis around. And those are altering pretty dramatically how we're doing product roadmap planning and prioritization, enabling of sales teams, testing of new ads that we're running from an end-to-end process perspective. So these are all examples of how custom LLMs can substantially improve the customer interaction. I can go more into the personalized approach that we take. For example, we've created an agent for outreach when customers request a demo or sign up for a trial of Chargebee or chat with us over the web. Our first interactions now are much richer than in the past, and they actually are an agentic outreach. We combine what we know about the customer, what we know about the industry they're in, third-party enrichment we get about them, and we respond in a much more personalized fashion that stitches together our perception of what their need would be based on their email, based on what their tools are that they're using, based on their region, their company size, and their role. And in doing so, we now have immediate at-scale personalization that's greater than we've ever seen in the past. And many companies are now also taking an AI-first approach to their initial outreach or response to customer requests.
Right. So, how does deploying ChatGPT Enterprise and Claude Enterprise and integrating it into leadership workflows and decision making, how does it help with better marketing decisions? Would you want to add something more to that?
Yeah, I mean, possible areas that we are getting benefit from: brainstorming and testing new marketing strategies. So earlier this year, we ran billboards of Chargebee around major airports and cities in New York, San Francisco, New York, and London. We also ran equivalent ads online to test which offline and online are working. All the ad copy and the content we're creating there now, we're leveraging AI for the brainstorming and then quickly to deploy those changes in the digital sphere to learn to then push out to the offline sphere. Competitive intelligence. Everything that every new feature that we develop or every new approach for what does, if I'm the CFO of an organization considering upgrading my billing infrastructure so that I can ensure that my sales teams are creating compliant sales orders, the messaging for the finance department from that product is very different than how you would represent that to and what a chief product officer and a product organization thinks about. So we're now leveraging core content that we develop with AI to personalize it based on the buyer type in a way that we can now do for email and for presentation beyond the scope of what we could do without AI. Competitive intelligence. GPT is fantastic at surfacing insights for our new features relative to what our key competitors are positioning and how Chargebee can actually provide a competitive edge to our buyers. And of course, we can ingest a large volume of market data and synthesize that into high-level trends and reports that can be used for content generation or for social media updates and so on.
So all of this till now was how processes were getting better, or data access and analysis was getting better. How do companies actually make money from AI as a part of their marketing tools, not just implementing it? So would you want to talk about Chargebee's recently released State of Recurring Revenue and Monetization report there? Maybe share some details and data points from there?
Yes, absolutely. So that's a very good question. So far, we've seen that AI is offering many new opportunities for companies who are building Gen AI products to monetize and sell. Early stage companies are typically doing so with basic recurring revenue business models. So they'll charge all access for their plan or their product. Or they'll be offering a usage-based approach. Like if you subscribe to ChatGPT itself, OpenAI, for example, you'll get a basic monthly subscription of $20 a month or $9.99 a month, and that'll give you up to a certain amount of calls of ChatGPT. If you exceed the volume thresholds, then you pay more for additional usage. We're also seeing companies that are offering resolutions and value to their customer, like Salesforce with their agent force, or Gorgeous with their AI-assisted customer support deflections. They're charging on an outcome basis, which means they're charging for a complete self-service ticket. So what we're seeing in the industry is that companies that are combining the subscription business model with usage billing are more than twice as likely to be seeing improved profit margins than those who are depending only on usage billing itself. About 67% of those who are using both hybrid, which means subscription and usage. Another thing we're seeing in top performers is the top performers are much more likely, twice as likely, to be enhancing their pricing strategies regularly, like every 6 to 9 months. They're 3 times as likely to be running pricing experiments. And 68% of the top performers in our research are essentially running pricing experiments constantly versus only 20% of the bottom performers. So the agility that companies can gain enables ongoing testing. And what we're seeing is that companies are trying to figure out what is the usage metric that most likely results in profitable revenue growth, and how do we start to leverage that in how we're monetizing our new AI or agentic product solutions.
Right. And now, this is slightly tricky, maybe not a very comfortable question, but I still go ahead and ask you. What do you see as the future of marketing leadership with AI being so ready to take over almost all the marketing functions, including decision making?
Yes. Actually, you know what? I might just restate a second part to your previous question around what else we learned from our report, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
I want to share as well. So companies are moving beyond flat fees, right? They're identifying and pricing based on outcomes and usage. They're testing, not guessing, like I shared. They're 3 times as likely to be testing. And they're using the billing platforms that support this new approach to multidimensional pricing. So that means being able to unlock at scale innovation and monetize it in real time, while seeing the decisions around how we price and monetize as a shared responsibility across the company. It requires the product team working with the finance team, working with the revenue team to think about and understand how do we measure and then value the use of our product, and then charge a price to our customer that will be reasonable and be perceived as being very valuable to the customers in order to make sure that customers buy and then grow and retain with that service as well.
So now, would you like to tell us how do you see? So not exactly the CMO role, but I think all leadership roles are going to be impacted by how AI is being used in organizations, right? So how do you see that changing, and then how do you see the leadership roles growing to meet that challenge of you don't want to be extinct anytime soon? So what are you going to do about it?
Yeah, it's a very fair question. What we're seeing actually is that AI is probably more separating the highest performers and the mid performers from the lower performers. And that doesn't not necessarily mean more experienced versus least experienced. I think as we're starting to see over the last 12 months, AI hit a mainstream usage in companies, the idea that early stage, early career marketers or functions within go-to-market organizations are out of work, I don't think that's actually true. We're seeing that actually young, sharp, ready to learn new workers are thinking differently about how to leverage AI and workflows and data so they can start to build solutions to the common needs of understanding we need to launch something in a market, have a differentiated point of view for something that's new from our products, and equip our sales team. There are 4 different motions there. Let's understand how to leverage the data and the insights from the CRM, from the web, from the press and the monetization, and the monetization space that we're in, as well as from our product usage. So I think what we're seeing is that AI is not yet ready to take over all marketing functions. There's always going to be a need for creative thinkers, bottoms up thinkers who are the seeds for what can quickly be built and scaled out, right? It's a powerful tool for data analysis, for content generation, campaign optimization, but not for creativity, not for leadership. I think brand strategy still needs to be driven by a company and will for many, many years to come. Although the ability to quickly iterate and test is augmenting those types of leaders and thinkers. So I actually think that in the case of Chargebee, we've recently evolved our own marketing organization, and we've reimagined marketing from the ground up. And it's enabled us to even more effectively hire, develop, and invest in A players, ensure that every player on our team is working on work that can't be solved with agents and AI, and is more collaborative and integrative in how they're approaching, the sales, the demand generation, the product marketing, and the brand, the design implications of having a bigger impact on the market. I think CMOs and leaders, we increasingly must effectively harness AI in order to set even more clear vision and direction, not just be overseeing campaigns, because results and performance of campaigns can now be extremely well synthesized, better than we ever will. But it's the takeaways from where are we winning, where are we losing, what's performing online, what is not differentiated enough, where do we believe that there's an opportunity to improve. That's what leaders need to be able to ingest, and then build a team and motivate a team that can start to ask better questions, work together, and leverage AI in a forward fashion, right? So lean into using AI to help them and expand their own skill sets, not to be concerned about losing their opportunity and losing their core functions and be replaced by AI.
So what you're saying that the leadership abilities are anyways going to be required, even if if the job functions are, increasingly augmented by AI. Is that right?
Correct. Exactly. Teams will be smaller, more nimble. There's no question about that. But I think for high performers, there's actually some attractive elements to working with smaller, higher performing teams that can multiply themselves with AI. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, the organization is going to benefit with higher efficiencies, and they're still going to be having leaders at the helm to guide the smarter teams, better ways forward. Correct?
That's right. That's right. Exactly how that's going to mean, how that relates to the number of positions and the hiring across the industry as a whole. Obviously, that's a story that's unfolding before us
Yeah.
right now,
Right.
but more companies are being formed more quickly than ever before right now.
Mm.
And as companies are being formed and started, or companies in traditional industries that had no technology are now being able to effectively use technology to grow. And that will create roles and opportunities for people to move into non-traditional tech industries and be part of more and more growing companies. So I do think that we'll see potentially less concentration and fewer marketers and general go-to-market roles within companies, but we'll probably see that spreading across more and more companies in and outside of technology across all industries.
So I think that's the end of my questions, and I have to really thank you for your time, Guy, and of course your insights.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for the Enterprise Thought Leadership Podcast. Please do follow us on social media and subscribe for more ideas and insights. Until next time.